Hey everybody, it's me, Becca, with Red Roof Flower Farm. How are you all doing? Wow, that's great. Yeah, super. Anyways, let's talk about me now. So this video is about responding to comments. Obviously, like I said in another video, it's kind of hard to respond individually to every single comment, but there are repetitive themes of what people want to know. So I went through all the comments and I jotted down some of the basic things that people wanted to know, and I'm going to go through all of that in this video. First up, I just want to touch on it once again because I've only talked about it in one video so far. I am transitioning. It's been quite a journey for me, and I'm really happy to say that by far the most predominant comment on my channel so far has been everybody supporting me and wishing me the best. So I really appreciate that because it's been intimidating for me to say the least. Okay, now on to the questions. Okay, so lots of people want to know, will I still sell at the roadside stand? Yes, I will. The roadside stand and the farmer's market are still going to be major parts of my business model. So the roadside stand is really what the biggest strength of the whole farm is, because when you're at the farmer's market, there's all the other, flower farms, but then a lot of the veggie farms in the summertime, in the peak season, have like flower bunches as well that they can usually sell really cheap. So there's just like lots of competition there. Whereas when people come to the roadside stand, they're not going around and shopping with every other flower vendor in town, and so maybe some of the stuff that's a harder sell, like straight bunches of otherwise beautiful flowers, they sell from a roadside stand better than they sell from the farmer's market. And so that opens up opportunities to sell different things that are maybe more profitable from the roadside stand. Another benefit of the roadside stand is that it allows me flexibility in life because, obviously when you go to a farmer's market, you have to stand there all day, you have to bring all the product, and getting ready takes a long time and stuff, and travel, and you're stuck there. Whereas the roadside stand, I'm at home, I can be with my kids really easily. I can do other things. I can make a bunch of bouquets and have them in the cooler and just like fill up the roadside stand when the time comes. I don't have to deal with customers, so the time that I spend per sale is like basically nothing. It's just, arranging some flowers, putting them up there. Really can't beat that. It is such a powerful tool for the farm, so it's not going anywhere. And, the farmers markets, I consider them, free marketing where I can also, make some money. And I've got some ideas about how to have better markets this year because the markets were let down last year. Okay, another question. Will I be teaching you how to plant stuff? I think that there's going to be lots to learn on this channel, especially about business and, growing and stuff. But I don't necessarily think that, like if you're searching for a specific answer to a question, that I'm the place that you're going to go to find that. It's more like there's lessons learned along the way, and that's more likely where the knowledge is going to be accumulated. It might not be something that you are looking to know but it could be something that gives you a new direction to take in your life in some other way, right? I've got lots of insightful things to say, so there'll be lots to learn. But if you want to know, how to start some particular seed, then I'm not necessarily going to be the person who's going to tell you that. Okay, lots of you also wanted to know about Serena and I, and like how that dynamic is going to work. Is she going to work on the farm? We have talked about that. I don't necessarily think that Serena's going to be working on the farm this year. There is a possibility that she could come help sometimes when it's busy, make flowers and stuff. But one of the things about going into things this year is that I have knowledge gaps I have skill gaps in certain areas of the farm. And it's kind of like if you are driving a car and you're going somewhere new, then you end up remembering the route better than if you're just like sitting in the passenger seat. So I want to be in the driver's seat, right? I want to make mistakes. I want to, miss deadlines so that I can like evolve. And if I don't take on all of the responsibility, then I'm still going to be dependent on like Serena's knowledge or just like other people. I want to be fully independent. I want to do all the aspects of the business. I want to have knowledge about everything so that I can plan around how to make things better, right? I think back to my business days when I had my heavy equipment company and I had to do millions and millions of safety presentations. And like the number one thing for what to do with a potential hazard is like to engineer a way that just completely eliminates the hazard. And I kind of think of the same about efficiencies. I have like less knowledge about starting seedlings, even though I've done all the processes. Like I've done the soil blocks, I've done the watering, I've done the, planting, I've done all the different steps, like lots and lots of times. I just haven't been responsible for the scheduling of it and, like what goes next and stuff. So I'm building a seedling room, right? So that I have the ability to get caught up if I screw up, or to grow lots if I need to grow lots, and to grow along with that. That is an example of me trying to engineer something that completely eliminates a problem, right? So if I don't address problems by having to run into all of them by myself, then I won't ever be able to come up with solutions that work for me and, my life. So what I would really like to do is, I'd like to help Serena get off the ground a little bit more, like with helping her with her garden and getting her new setup going, because I think it's going to be really cool. And, like there's certain aspects of like physical work in the initial steps of like building something like that maybe I can be helpful. So like, we spend lots of time together still, like, we share kids and we still like do family activities together and, have dinners together and movie nights and, like all that kind of stuff. There really isn't much change in our family dynamic. So, there's always going to be like us doing favors for each other and stuff. And like in my previous life, before all of this, I used to have a nickname, Mr. Favors. And that was because I'd always go and help people out. I'm a nice person. So I don't want to see my friends and family needing things, and I will always help out. So, it's not so much that I'm going to be looking for Serena's help on the farm. It's more that we'll be working together on the things that, we decide to work on together. And I don't think she necessarily has the time to have a social life, a YouTube channel, and then also family stuff and have a job here. I'm sure she'd love to help out on occasion, but not planning on it. Okay, here's the big one. People wanted to know what I've been up to. I've actually been having a little bit of a social life, which is nice. It's been a long time since I did social things. I was so busy with the farm and YouTube and just like the family and stuff that I didn't really have a lot of, in-person friendships anymore, other than like acquaintances and people that, you see at farmers market and stuff. But it's hard to, like hang out with people when you're just always working, right? So having a little bit of time to myself, I was able to meet some people, like some friends. I got kind of like a new friends group that I've been hanging out with. And, I've been finding some people that I really get along with really well. I've been laughing lots. Lots of people have remarked that I've met kind of like over the past year that I'm really easy to talk to, and they like kind of like my vibe, and it's been making me feel like confident about myself, and that because I do think I have something special. There's something different about me that is unique. Okay, and the big question on lots of people's minds was, do I still have cats? Bo did make a brief appearance at the end of one of the videos. Bo is more attached to the farm than he is to any particular person. Bo and this property go together, and it would be cruel for him to leave here, even though he was a little bit more bonded to Serena than he is to me. He still like loves me lots, and I love him lots. He's a very good boy. But he stayed here with the farm, and then there was two other cats. There was Smokey and Nugget, and they are brothers, which would mean that we maybe like originally wanted to keep them together, but Smokey can be a little bit of a jerk, and he was kind of harassing his brother, and Nugget started getting anxiety disorder disease stuff. So we decided that maybe they would be better off separated. So Smokey stayed with me, And Nugget went with Serena. Nugget was very cuddly boy, and I miss him a lot. Whenever I go over there, I always call for him and give him a big snuggle. But Smokey has kind of like really bonded to me. And he actually reminds me a lot of one of the first cats that I had named Mew. And Mew was like adorable. And he was like the first cat that I raised from a kitten. And I was like always really crazy about Mew. And he lived to like 10 or 11 or something. And I miss him lots, but he was really dumb and he was really cute and he was really playful. And that's kind of like what Smokey is as well. You know, Smokey has spent lots of nights cuddled up with me in my bed. You know, there's lots of nights that have been hard this year, just emotional, like with all the changes in life. And, you know, Smokey's been there to you know, just keep me warm at night. So I really appreciate the presence of cats in my life.
This is me while I edit this video. Right, Smokey? You're cute.
And lots of you wanted to know about the peonies and the roses. You had comments about that kind of stuff, or the perennials in general. The peonies, there's I think about 1,100 plants planted now. And some of them are going into their third year. Most of them are going into their second year. And then a good number of them are going into their first year. Lots of them were from like really big chunks of root. Some of them were like 5 times the size of what the smaller ones that we got were when we planted them. So those second year ones, you know, they could be more like third or fourth year plants with what they were starting off from. They, I think, could be quite productive this year. And what my plan is with the peonies, because I dried a couple peonies last year and I really, really liked them. And I thought it would be really neat to create for weddings, like a rental flower system where I have like peony arrangements. You know, maybe I could have like an arch that's like a flower arrangement. Because I know like money's tight for lots of people, and the peonies still dry to a decent size, and I could have so many of them that maybe it would be cool to create these like rentable installations. And then, you know, like if there's any damage to them during an event, I could just kind of like top them up with extras that I have available. Because I want to crack into the weddings potentially in the longer term, not necessarily this year. This year, I already have a lot on my plate, but I want to start thinking about how to get into weddings. And I do still want to like try to advertise a little bit for like really basic wedding services, you know, like just where you can come and buy buckets of flowers for a wedding, just so I can start getting my name out there in the wedding sphere as well, and start finding where to advertise for that kind of stuff and getting exposed to the questions that people ask. Obviously, I've had lots of people ask about weddings before, so it's not going to be like completely new to me. I do think that in the long term, getting into weddings could be smart for me. The roses are a big part of that as well. So my goal with the roses, there's going to be like over 400 David Austin roses, right? And that's a lot. That is, you know, undeniably a lot of roses. That's a lot of work to maintain. And so it is a little bit scary. Worst case scenario, I can sell them probably pretty easily for more than what I pay for them, because I'm going to be buying them at wholesale cost. It's still like a lot of money, and I don't necessarily have a lot of money right now. A lot of them will have a strong early flush, kind of like right when the peonies are dying off, the roses will start coming on. And then there'll be like a trickle of blooms through the rest of the season, or some of them will, there's like different blooming patterns. I think some of them bloom like periodically, some of them bloom consistently, some of them bloom later, some of them bloom earlier. But I figure with the entire mix of 400 of all these different varieties that I will be able to always have quite beautiful flowers that I could offer for weddings. Now, I know that I'm going to be a little bit more limited in colors, and I know like lots of weddings like pure white type color palettes or blushes, and I'm not going to be able to necessarily cater to that. I'm not going to let that stop me though. I think that I can compete on price, And I still think that those roses can look so spectacular that I can get event work. So I'm just going to plow ahead with it, see what happens. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to try something that I think could work really well. And if the roses aren't the solution, then I'm going to be looking for other perennials that are really spectacular. They kind of bloom starting in early July, late June, and can cover me for the rest of the year. Basically, what I'm thinking is, like obviously tulips start the year, and then we move on to peonies as the focal flowers. And then, that's where I'm hoping the roses can pull the heavyweight until, you start getting like the annuals kind of coming in mid-July type timing, so that there's no lulls. And I want to be able to always create a consistent number of bouquets so that like I don't have like way more tulips available at the start of the season than I do, peonies once the peonies start, and find that I've built up this customer base and then I can't like service this customer base and then they go somewhere else, right? I want to be able to, anyone who comes can get flowers at any time of year. And as the business grows, the capacity grows. What I would really like from the business is that it grows to the point where I can have an employee, because when I think about just like running the farm on my own completely, it's a little bit intimidating, because like that means that for 6 months of the year, I don't get weekends, like a single Saturday off. I'm just doing farmers markets. I'm just working. I'm really, really tied to the farm, and that doesn't necessarily sound like what I want, because I want to be able to enjoy my life as well. What I need to do is grow the farm to a point where it makes sense to have an employee. That's also part of the reason why I'm so focused on efficiency, because there's no sense in hiring an employee if you make them do every task so inefficiently that you're just throwing your money away by hiring them. And so everything has to be like really easy, really streamlined, so that I can get the most out of people. Once I have people trained on the farm that can maybe like help me out, I can take a Saturday off and still, go to the farmer's market, or I can like leave for the Monday to Friday time and still the farm hasn't fallen apart, and come back for the market on the weekend or something, like whatever it is, I can leave the farm at some point in time and things don't like grind to a halt. And also, now that YouTube is doing well, like I'm not making money, and I'm not going to make any substantial money, even though I am close to monetization already. Thank you everybody for subscribing. It's still going to be like a minimal amount of money that comes in for quite a while. But I trust that people are going to like the videos that are going to be coming out. And so, I'm just going to try to find someone that wants to come and work for me. I think it'll be good. I think my focus on having, perennial focal flowers available for a good part of the season is a winning strategy, right? Well, like I said, most of the comments that people said were very, very positive, and I thank you very much. And I think that kind of covers most of the other stuff that people were asking about. I am sorry that I cannot answer every single comment. It really does take a crazy amount of time to do it. I get sucked into it, and then I like start questioning my words, and then it slows me down. And I find that I just can't do it. But I can read everything and absorb the information. So please comment. It really makes a big difference on YouTube. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And stay tuned for more videos. There will be more videos coming soon. Thank you very much. Bye.